I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the...
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and in this video we're going to talk about the results from the Texas Pro Classic Physique category. I gotta say, props to all these guys. This was a really stacked Classic Physique lineup. I was really excited to see this show. Everybody really did deliver here. So let me give you guys the results first, then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So we're primarily going to focus on the top three here, because I think the top three was really impressive at this show, and three guys that honestly I really think belong on the Olympia stage, but I don't know if there's any more qualifying opportunities for them to get to that stage. So in third place, Steve Lorius. In second place, you had Logan Franklin, and in first place, you had a phenomenal Robert Timms. So let's talk about Robert Timms first. This guy, he looked incredible here. Now, I know that Logan and Steve were kind of the bigger names here, so a lot of people were talking about them going into the show. I mentioned Robert in my last video as a guy that in his physique updates, he was looking really impressive. I didn't really see anybody else talking about Robert, but I thought in some of the updates that he was posting when he announced that he was doing this show in Texas, that he was looking really good, and he came in and won this show, and I gotta say, this was a deserved victory. He looked fantastic here. Conditioning was on point. He was shredded. I mean, not only does he have a crazy small waist, but look how defined and prominent his abs are. Crazy peaked biceps. Like I said, conditioning was on point. He was really complete here. From all angles, he looked good, and I was really impressed with Robert Timms. Now, this isn't really a surprise as much as it was that he was a smaller name. Now, Robert's recent contest placings include 2016 Mr. Olympia, 6th place. He won the Ferrigno Legacy in 2016. 2017 Mr. Olympia, 14th place. And the 2018 Mr. Olympia, 15th place. Now, I think he looked significantly improved here to that package that we saw in 18. From a conditioning standpoint, certainly very classic physique. Like I said, just overall, a really deserved victory. And I know a lot of people were rooting for Logan, myself included. I really thought that Logan was going to come in and win this show. He was my pick to win. Logan is one of my favorite guys in classic physique. Switching gears to talk about Logan here. I think he looked good. I think he still needs to fill out his weight class a little bit more. I don't know how much more room he has, to grow into that. I believe after last year's Olympia, he said he had like 20 more pounds of wiggle room roughly to increase his weight for his height, to fill out his physique into the classic physique weight limit. To me here, he still looks like he could add a little bit more size. Overall, conditioning looked pretty good. His legs look really good. I think he's got some of the better legs in classic physique, to be honest with you guys. In some shots, I think his conditioning looked like it could have been a little bit sharper. Overall, I do think he looked really good here. I think he deserves second place. Like I said, Robert Timms, there was really no arguing with him winning this show. He looked incredible looking at these pictures, especially some of the HD pictures. He looks good, man. I can't argue with it. As much as I like Logan, I just can't argue with this decision. Robert looks fantastic. And then Steve Lorius in third. Looking at the videos and pictures of Steve, he looks better than he looked last weekend in Tampa to me. He looks like he improved between Tampa and Texas. He looked a little bit sharper here. And like I said, he did move up a placing from here to Tampa, from Tampa to here. 4th in Tampa, 3rd here. I don't really know what the path is for these guys to get to the Olympia. I think this is pretty much it. There is a classic physique category in Spain. Spain is also this weekend. So I highly doubt anybody that just competed in Texas tonight is going to make it over to Spain to compete there in classic physique, but maybe they will. I've been focusing mostly on bodybuilding, the bodybuilding qualifier. So for bodybuilding, you got Spain, and then you've got the Arnold. I think that's it. If you want to get to the Olympia, you got to either place top 2 in Spain or win the Arnold, and I think that's it. Classic physique, maybe there is some random show sprinkled in there, but I think Texas was pretty much it. So unless there's some random show that Steve and Logan can find to qualify for the Olympia. It looks like we're not going to see them on the Olympia stage. I don't think either of them have enough points from these placings to get to the Olympia, if you're looking at a top 3 in point standings perspective. But man, this was a really good classic physique competition, and I don't want it to get overshadowed, because oftentimes it does. Wherever there's a bodybuilding show where there's men's open and classic physique, the men's open results tend to overshadow classic. But I just want to point out here what a phenomenal lineup this was, and what a great top 3 this was. I mean, this looked like a mini Olympia. These are all 3 guys that I think really, truly exemplify classic physique, classic structure,